shows it should grow anywhere between 8 to 10% per year. But let's be conservative and assume a 7% yearly return on average. Over 50 years, that $219 a month investment would grow to about $1.2 million. You'll end up with more money and you'll have a higher net worth in 50 years by picking that option. Now, just for fun, let's say you're like, I'm crazy though, I'm not going to buy the VOO ETF. I'm going to put it into Bitcoin. Now, obviously, Bitcoin's returns are all over the place depending on what timeline you're looking at. But let's say that over 50 years, Bitcoin's average would come down to about 12% per year. That means your $219 a month investment over 50 years would grow to about $8.5 million. So if you're disciplined and you invest every month without excuses, and the market performs the same way it always has historically, it means the long-term compounding would outweigh the extra interest you paid by going with the 50-year option. Now that is a very big if, because it assumes you'll stay invested for 50 years without touching that money, and the truth is, most people don't. All right, so here's where I get extra nerdy and put everyone else left to sleep. I left out something really important. On the 50-year mortgage, you're saving about $220-ish a month. If you invested that difference in the market at a 7% a year return, you'd end up with roughly $1.2-ish million. Okay, but remember, on the 30-year mortgage, once the house is paid off, you will have 20 more years worth of mortgage payments you won't have to make because your house is paid off. Well, that's over $2,000 you could be investing every month for an additional 20 years before it's the 50-year mark. That's more fair. That's more apples to apples. So what would that look like? If you took your old mortgage payments of $2,020 a month and invested that for 20 years at the same 7%. Well, you'd end up with around $1,050,000. So purely from a math perspective, actually, yes, the 50-year investor still wins by a small amount, which actually surprised me. I thought the 30-year buyer with an additional 20-year investment would come out ahead. But that just goes to show you the magic of investing is not about how much money you invest. It's about how long